This is the ultimate guide to image SEO. To get the maximum benefits out of optimizing images or image SEO on your website, you need to perform two types of operations on your images. The first kind would be to optimize your images so that they don't negatively affect the performance of your website, which will in turn hurt the SEO of your website and also affect the user experience on your website. And the second kind of optimization will be so that you can get the maximum traffic using the images on your website. And in this ultimate guide, I'm going to discuss every single operation you need to perform to ensure that your images are the most optimized for your website. Let's go. So let's start with the operation number one, which is to ensure that images don't affect your website in a negative way. Now, why is this part important to implement? Let me just give you an example. Typically, a web page, if you look at the size of the page itself, can be anywhere between 20 kilobytes to, let's say, 50 kilobytes at maximum. But look at any image on the page. It will typically be between 100 kilobytes, 200 kilobytes, and if they're not optimized, 500 kilobytes, and even in multiple megabytes. And the result of this is that your website actually performs very poorly for your end users. So if somebody is trying to access a page on your website, it'll take multiple seconds for it to open, which is not a great user experience, and Google doesn't like it when your websites perform slow. So in both the scenarios, taking a look at both the scenarios where your website is not performing great and it's also providing a worse user experience that it can, Google will actually demote you in the search results. So typically, if you, let's say, you would be able to rank number 2 with a certain set of keywords, for a certain set of keywords with certain content, because your website is not performing great because of the large images that you have, you might be deranked to, or demoted to ranking number 8, 10, or even worse. So it's in your best interest, SEO wise, that your images are actually the smallest size possible so that your website can provide the best user experience. So that's what we're going to learn how to do for your website in this step. So let's talk about how do you optimize your images for this best results. So now that we understand why we need to do this, let's talk about the 3 parameters you need to optimize your images for the best results. The first one is resolution, which is the number of pixels the image has. The second one is quality or compression. The third one is choosing the right image format. Let me give you a quick example of how massively these factors can affect an image's size. So this is a website, or I'd say not a website. This is an image that I've downloaded from unsplash.com, which is a free image resource. And you see this image. I just resize the window so that I can show you the image. This is an image that I've downloaded from unsplash.com. Now let me show you what the image size is and the resolution is. So the image size, I've not touched the image anyway, is 2 megabytes. It's massive for any web page. And the dimensions are 4,849 pixels wide and 3,233 pixels tall. Now this is a very, very large image in terms of resolution. And most of the time you don't need this much resolution. So what's the typical size that you need? Well, the answer is actually not very simple to explain, but I'll just give you simple guidelines. I'm here on my website and I've installed the Astra theme. Most themes will have a setting where they'll be able to define a container width on how wide the site can actually go. Apart from that, if you go wider, or let's say a widescreen display, the image actually will stay the same aspect ratio. So if I go to the container settings here, you'll see that my container width is 1200 pixels. That means my website will never go wider than 1200 pixels. So considering this, I should have images maximum size as 1200 pixels. But to account for, let's say, high resolution displays, I can usually double this number. So if I just round it off, then 2000 pixels is the maximum image size which I should be using on my website. And typically for most websites, somewhere container width is 1200 to 1400 pixels. So as a benchmark, you can say, hey, maximum width of 2000 pixels is what you should be aiming for any website. So going back to this image here, it's massive. It's 4,849 pixels. So let's look at the image size when we actually compress it, or I say reduce the pixels. I already have the result here. So this is this original image, and this is the image which I have resized to 2000 pixels. And you see the massive difference in size, 2 megabytes to 894 kilobytes already. This is just changing the resolution of the image. Let's talk about the second factor, which is also compression and quality. When I took the same image, this image, and actually compressed it, do you want to see the results? I already have it here. This is the final answer. So this was the original image, and I compressed the original image. Just to give an example, you saw 2 megabytes to 1.64 megabytes, and this is the resized image, 894 kilobytes. And once I resized, or I say compressed this image, the final image was 254 kilobytes. Massive difference in just 2 operations. But what about the right image format? What's the typical, I say, compression or savings that you can expect when you change the image format? Let's also check that out. A lot of images here, but the final result that you should be looking for is this image. 2000 pixels, WebP format, which is a modern day format, 129 kilobytes only. And if I open this image up, it still looks pretty darn good. So this is the amount of savings you can expect by just implementing these 3 changes: compression, resolution, and also choosing the right image format. And I have all these examples here so that you can pause the video, take a screenshot, and just understand how each operation affects the image size. But just look at this: 2 megabytes to 129 kilobytes. That's a massive difference in any image quality or any image size. So this is what you should be doing. Let me now show you how you would do this for any image on your website. So let me now show you how you can do the same things, that 3 operations I talked about, on any of your images that you have without downloading any piece of software. It's completely online, it's completely free. The website is called ResizePixel.com. It's already on the screen. I'll place a link in the description of this video as well. This is where you'll upload an image and you'll perform the same operations. So I'll upload an image that I have, again, downloaded from unsplash.com. And you see that original image is 6000 by 4000 pixels, 2.46 megabytes in size, a massive image. So let's perform these all operations one by one. The first operation is resolution. So we'll go to resize, and instead of 2000 or 6000, we'll change it to 2000. 2000. We'll change the size. And now instantly you'll see, once the image has changed size, the difference in size is massive already. It's already from 2.46 megabytes to 109.4 kilobytes. Let's also compress it. So I'll go to the compress tab. I'll keep it to auto. I'll compress it. And again, you see 11% improvements once more. Let's also change it to the right format, and I'll change it to WebP here. And again, almost 50% improvements. So starting from an image which was 2.46 megabytes in size, now it's 40.83 kilobytes in size, and it's completely free. You can go to download and download the image, and now you'll be able to use it on your website. Now, this is just for images that you haven't uploaded to your website yet, and this is a manual process, but I just wanted to show you that this process also exists. Let me show you a simpler way on how you can do this automatically, and also all the images on your website which are already uploaded can also be compressed and also converted to the right format. Let's talk about that now. So to perform all these optimizations on your website automatically for images that you upload and also images that are already on your website, we'll be using a plugin. And the number one plugin for image optimization that we recommend is called EwwwImages. So let's install the plugin first. I'll go to the plugin section. I'll go to add new. I'll look for EwwwImages. I'll just search for EwwW, and typically the search result will give me the plugin. This is the one. I'll click on install. Let's also activate the plugin. So the plugin is now installed. Let's go to the settings and configure a few settings first, and I'll show you how you can start compressing images automatically or changing formats automatically. So I'll go to settings here. And since this is the first install, EwwwImages will ask me a few questions. In order to recommend the best settings, please select which goals are most important. What we are trying to do is speed up our website. So I'll select this option, and I'll stick with the free mode for now. There's a premium option as well. I'll go to the next option. And there's typical options that are recommended to us. So first option is remove metadata. I'll recommend that you keep it enabled. Lazy load, I'll keep it enabled. WebP conversion, I'll keep it enabled. And maximum width, again, you can make it 2000 pixels or 1920 is also fine. And image backups is local. That means if you upload a really high resolution image, it will be backed up to your website as well. Embed help and anonymous reporting, I'll keep it off. I'll save my settings and I'll go to done. And here, there are a couple things that you should again enable inside the settings. All these settings are already something we configured. I'd enable this as well. Add missing dimensions. This is important. Rest of the settings, you can just double check and leave them be. So once you've configured these settings, everything is now set up perfectly. Anytime you upload new images to your website, they'll automatically perform with all the 3 operations. They'll be reduced to the right size, they'll be compressed, and it will also be converted to the right image format. And EwwwImages also takes care of fallback options. That means if, let's say, somebody's browser does not support the latest image format, WebP, then typically they'll be served with a typical, or I say, fallback option. So you don't have to worry about a user's browser not actually supporting the WebP format. So now, since everything is set up, let's go to the media library and add a few images and see how the compression actually takes place. So I'll go to the media, I'll go to library, and I have no media right now. I'll go to add new, and let me just upload a few images. These are again stock images I've downloaded. They are massive in size, 2 megabytes, 1 megabytes, each of these images. I'll upload a handful of these images right now. So all the images I added were uploaded to the site, and I went to the library, and you see all these images now are here. So how do you see all the benefits or all the optimizations that were happened or that actually were carried out? You switch to the list view here. Just look at this icon, switch to the list view, and you'll see all the details that are already, or all the operations or details of the operations that were performed on your images. So you see this image, 6 size compressed, WebP format converted, reduced by 81%, reduced by 81%, reduced by 79%, reduced by 82%, reduced by 65%, and all these optimizations were performed automatically for you. So you didn't have to raise a finger, just confirms a few settings, and now everything or every image that you upload is now being optimized. So this is for the new images that you upload. What about the images that you already have? For that, you need to go to the bulk optimize option area right here. And once you're here, since I have already uploaded, or as all the images I have loaded have already been compressed, so I won't find any, I'd say, uncompressed or unoptimized images. But what you can do is just click click this button which says scan for unoptimized images, and the plugin will scan for unoptimized images on your site. You see here, now I have also found 10 optimized or 10 images that might be part of my theme files that are not optimized. So I'll click this button which will optimize those existing images which are might be logo files or images that come as part of my theme, and all of these images now also optimized. So for new images, as soon as you upload the images, they'll automatically compress, automatically be change the resolution, and automatically will be changed to right format. And once you have done that, you can also go back, go to the bulk optimize, and optimize all the images that are already present on your website. This is all for free. This is all automatically done for you. Nothing need to change. So this concludes part 1 of our video. Let's talk about the second part where we optimize the images so that we can get the maximum traffic to our website with image SEO. So let's talk about how we'll get the maximum amount of traffic from Google and other search engines with the power of image SEO. Once again, we'll be making changes to the image itself, but we'll be changing some data about the image, not the image itself. We'll be changing 3 most important aspects. The first one being we'll be optimizing the name of the image. This is very important for Google and other search engines to understand, and they use the name as a signal of what the image is actually about. The second thing we'll be changing is the alt text. Now, alt text is a piece of text that is represented or shown up on the image itself, and also in the metadata, especially when the images actually fail to load. So if somebody is actually using your website or browsing your website from a slower internet connection and images fail to load, then the alternate text also appears on the screen. So not only will Google actually use this as to understand what the image is about, it's also useful for accessibility reasons where users can actually read the alt text on the screen if the image fails to load. On that, we can also change the title and add a descriptive title of the image, which can also be used for metadata and also ranking reasons. And the fourth, a bonus tip that you can add to your images is captions, which they will depend on the kind of context that you will provide with the individual images. So let me show you how you will make all these changes on your images. So I'm inside my WordPress website, inside the media library. I have some sample images uploaded to the website. Let's say I want to change the metadata or all this data for this image. Now, of course, you cannot change the images or change the name of your images right inside WordPress. I'll present a solution for that as well. But let's start talking about the other methods or other data first. So we have the alt text, we have the title and the caption here. So what you can do is, first of all, this title is not pretty descriptive, so I'll delete this, but I'll just add the alternate title and the same as the alternate text and the title as well. So I'll name this, or I'll say the alt text of this image can be dog sleeping on the bed and woman working on a laptop in the... So I've added a pretty descriptive alt text, but you can keep it short, depends on the kind of image you have. I'll paste the same thing in the title of the image as well. Now, once I've saved this, or once I've just let go, it's automatically saved. Now, whenever I add this particular image to any of my posts, the alternate text and the title will automatically reflect these changes. Now, for the images that you have already added, if you go and change the alt text, then the alt text will not automatically updated on the post itself. So you'll have to go and make those changes to the posts themselves. But you can make the other changes right here, the alternate text and the title. But what about the names of the images? The names of the images is very, very important. So to do that and to make all these changes seamless, because there are a couple of problems with this approach. Even though you have added the alt text and title here, there's no way to keep track of what images have you optimized. And also you cannot change the images right here inside WordPress. So that's another problem as well. So to fix that, I'll recommend a better solution, which is to use a specific plugin designed to solve all these problems. So let's install the plugin and I'll show you how exactly it works. So to install the plugin, we'll go into the plugins menu of our website. Once again, we'll go to add new. And I'll just show you which plugin it is. We can just search for rename images. It's very easy. And once all the plugins actually come on the screen, the plugin I'm going to recommend is a very specific one. So make sure the plugin is this one, which is called Media File Renamer, Renamer Files, Manual Auto, and AI. And it's by Jordi Meow. So I'll install this plugin. Let's also activate it. So the plugin is now installed, and once the plugin is installed and activated on your site, you'll see this setting option appear on the menu entry, which is Meow Apps. So to access the settings of the plugin, we'll go into the Meow Apps and inside the Renamer options, where we'll find a lot of different settings. And we'll just configure some basic settings, and you should just replicate these settings because the plugin does have a lot of automation features, which we are not trying to use at this point of time, just using the manual rename feature. So inside the method, we'll keep the method to disable automatic rename, and in the manual options we'll enable the rename field, enable sanitize, we'll extra options on upload enable, images only enable, and inside the site updates I'll just keep it the post enable. Inside the UI I'll enable undo, I'll enable the alt feed as well. These are the settings that you need to configure inside the basic options. Under advanced option, what I'll do is just make one more change. I'll disable or lock the automatic rename because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to disable the manual rename lock. That means I should be able to manually rename the images. So once this is done, the settings will automatically be saved, so you don't have to press save button. And once this is done, we'll head back into the media library and start making changes to these images, or not in the media library, but inside of particular options, media library, inside the renamer options. This is where all the settings will live. So you see all these images that I have uploaded to the website, and there are a few different images which you see are not optimized from any metadata. See, the title is not optimized. There's no alt text to this image, and the name of the image is also not very descriptive. If I click on the image, I might be able to just go back and see what the image is about. So now I can just confidently say what the image is about. I'll just go back, and now I'll rename the images appropriately. So I'll just go here to rename the image and just change the name of the image or type a new name. So once I've typed in an appropriate name for the image, all I have to do is just click the rename button, and now the image has been renamed. And what about the title and the alt text? Well, I just click the edit media button, and I'll just change the title and also add the alt text right here. So I'll just do it once again. So I've added an appropriate title and alt text which is descriptive of the image. Let me click the OK button, and the image will instantly disappear. Why does that happen? Because I've optimized the name as well as the alt title or alt text and the title. An image doesn't disappear, it's just going to the lock state where you can go and check out the image at a later date to understand that, oh, these are the images I've already optimized and these are the images I haven't optimized. So it gives you a great user experience where once you optimize all the data about the image, it'll automatically disappear from the list of images that need to be optimized. So you can keep on top of the images that you actually need to optimize. So this provides a great user experience, and once you've done this, you can actually go back to a post and check out that all these data about the images showing up. So let's go check that. I'll go to the post, I'll add a new post to the site, and I'll just try it and add an image block here. So I'll just type in image, I'll open up the image, I'll go to the media library, I'll find that particular image that I just selected, and you can see the name of the image has been updated, the optimization that we already did have been updated, and also you see alt text and the title also appearing. If I just add the image here, you can see alt title also appearing, which you can optimize on a per post basis. Now for the captions, you have to add the captions manually. So just click here and add captions, or wherever the options for the captions appear on the screen. So let's say this website was about cinematography and how to set up lighting and camera angles. I could make the caption as perfect lighting setup for an interview. So I'll just go here, click the caption button, and I'll just type the caption in, which is, so once I've written the caption that I want to, I just have to click away and continue building the page as I would want to create. And with that, every kind of metadata has been added to the image. They have the right names, they have the right alt text, the right title, and also the caption that users need to give them context about the image. We've also optimized the images completely in terms of size, resolution, compression, and also the right format. But there's one additional thing you can do, take it as a bonus tip that will excellently, I say, help you save a lot of your crawl budget. So let's talk about that specific thing as well. So what's this bonus optimization that I'm talking about? Let me just show you. So inside the media library, I have all these images right now. I'll just open one of these images and you'll see attachment details. This is a page, attachment details page. But you might have not noticed this feature or this, I'd say, option right here, which is view attachment page. Now, what is an attachment page? Let me just show you. I'll click and open it in a new tab. And you see a dedicated page created just for this attachment, which just features this particular image. Now, why does this not make any sense? Because this is not a very useful feature. But why is this detrimental is because let's say you have hundreds of images, all these will have separate attachment pages created, and all your crawl budget inside Google will be wasted, or I say not properly utilized by crawling these images and attachment pages. So the best way or the best solution is to eradicate, or I say disable attachment pages and redirect them to directly either the image or the post that contains the image itself. So how do you do it? Well, there's a way to do it with code, but the easier way that you can do this is using a plugin which is called All-in-One SEO. It's an SEO plugin and it can I'd say supercharge your website SEO, but I'm just going to talk about this particular feature in this video because there's a lot of videos we've done, and I'll leave some videos in the description of this video. You can go check them out. So I'll go into the plugin section and I've already installed All-in-One SEO on my website. You can go into plugins, go into add new and just search for AIO SEO. And once you find this plugin, make sure to install and activate it on your website. And once this plugin is installed, you see All-in-One SEO menu appear right here. Hover over it and we go to search appearance. And inside search appearance, we'll just look for a particular setting inside image SEO. And inside image SEO, this is the feature I'm talking about, redirect attachment URLs. Right now it's disabled. That's why we are seeing the attachment page, but you can make that to attachment or attachment parent. If you make the setting to attachment or change it to attachment, that means you will open up the image directly as part of the URL or directly the image file, not an attachment page. And if you go to attachment parent, then what will happen is whatever image or whatever post contains that image, it will be redirected to that particular post. Now, sometimes what happens is you have a post in multiple pages or image in particular multiple pages, then the safer bet is to just keep it to attachment. So I'll save my changes by disable or giving an example by going to attachment right now. Once again, I'll go back to media library. I'll just refresh my page just for safety. And once the page is refreshed, I'll open up the same image and I'll open the attachment page once again. And now this time it just opens up the image file directly, which is a much better way of handling this right now. So just to recap everything we've done in this video to completely supercharge our image SEO, we took all the images, we resized them, compressed them, and also changed the image format. I showed you a manual method of doing it and also how to do it an automated way using a free plugin. We also changed and updated the metadata of all the images. We changed their names, the alt text, the titles, also learned how to add captions. And I showed you two different ways where you can do it manually, one by one, and also a plugin where you can do it manually, but a much better interface or with a much better interface so that you can not only rename everything that you want to, but also organize your images perfectly. And also I showed you how to redirect your attachment page URLs so that your crawl budget is not wasted. And once you've done all this, you should see a significant lift in not only the performance of your website, but also how much traffic is coming to you from search engines using images or just with the power of images. Now make sure you have enough images for it to have a significant impact on your website. Otherwise, if you just have one image and expect it to give you significant better traffic, that's not going to happen. But if you have an established website with a lot of images, a lot of traffic already coming in, by making these changes, you'll ensure that your website's traffic is not being wasted, or I say your website resources are not being wasted by unnecessarily large images, so that your server can actually conserve those resources to serve users, and also providing all the important metadata to the images themselves so that search engines can understand what the image is about, show them in relevant queries, thereby redirecting traffic from images to your website. Now, this might be a lot of information for a single video. So if you have any questions, the comment section is open. We answer every single one. And if you like videos like this, where you want to educate yourself and level up your skills in your web development WordPress game, then give us a subscribe. And if you like this video a lot, all the effort I put in, make sure to hit the like button as well. My name is Yuvraj. You're watching WP Beginner. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.